Hi, and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction video of the 7th episode of Season 2 of Babylon 5 called Soulmates. Last time we saw Talia Winters assisting with a negotiation with a friend of hers. He was trying to get a business foot in the door on Mars, which would help boost Mars's resource output, allowing them to become independent without any more bloodshed on the planet. He was killed, with Talia as a witness, when an enhanced human killed him, framing the Free Mars organization for the murder. We discovered that the murderer was actually the past leader of the Free Mars group that had actually been killed in space, recovered, and altered to be used by a shadowy group called Bureau 13 to keep Mars under Earth control. Talia saw things in the murderer's mind before he self-destructed to destroy the evidence of his existence. One of the key members of the Bureau appeared to be a member of the Psychor that had been classified as dead, but she didn't reveal this information to either Garibaldi or Captain Sheridan. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened. And this video is a bit different to usual. I've been playing around with upscaling older shows and clips to HD and 4K to see how they look. This one I've actually updated to HD. I had a quick scan and it looks okay, so I'm going to react to this version rather than the usual DVD version, while keeping my fingers crossed that it's all okay and it's going to work properly. I just want to see what it looks like and how different it is to the DVD version. So I'm going to start the episode in 3, 2, 1.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Actually, it's relatives. I'm here to pick up some women. Ambassador Mallory's 3 wives.
Oh, what a lucky dog.
No, that's not lucky.
You will take me to my husband.
3 wives. I mean, I've not been married, but obviously I have girlfriends. One girlfriend's enough. I never understood how people can have affairs. How the hell can they manage and cope with 2 women? It's hard enough keeping track of one.
Where the hell you're going? I'm tired of you constantly. Jeez, I'm sorry. What was I saying?
Absolutely nothing.
Someone's psychic. Actually, I'm not sure what that ability would be called. Using your mind to change what someone else is thinking. That's not psychic. That's not telepath. Unless it's a certain kind of telepath. Not sure what that would be. But yeah, it's not a normal ability.
His name was Stoner? Yeah.
Garibaldi's right to be worried. Just a quick thing. First impression so far. Quality is much nicer. A lot of the colours seem, much more solid. The DVD, there's a little bit pixelation. Obviously, the screen's normally a lot smaller as well. I've got actually a lot bigger screen this time, so it's easy to see what's going on. It looks nice. I saw an external shot, excuse me, at the beginning of Babylon 5. That did look a bit cartoony. It had a funny shine to it. But the internal shots look nice anyway.
By the way, Captain, for some time now I've been meaning to mention that I think you've settled nicely into your new duties.
Creep.
Garibaldi, we'll discuss this Stoner fella later, all right?
Matt Stoner? I was married to him.
Is it a coincidence that she popped in right at the time when they were discussing it? Let's have a look at what the intro looks like.
5 miles long, located in neutral territory.
Yeah, so got that funny little shine. But some of the textures are much clearer.
The year the Great War came upon us all.
Explosion's nice though. It's weird. Some bits look so much better, but then some other bits not so much. There's a lot of settings I could play with. This was just I picked a generic one, pushed a button, and it just did it. I didn't really do anything. So maybe if I play a bit more, see how they come out. I want to try and do some of the key battles or key scenes. Just really make them look as good as I can. Might go up to 4K on a few of them, but we'll see. Yeah, it's still got that cartoony look, animated look to it.
Another round for all my friends!
Well, that's going to cost a bit. Why is he so happy?
He'll be here shortly, I swear. He's probably at a meeting or something.
I was avoiding his wives.
Why do you always try to draw me into your little verbal fencing matches?
Because I don't have a real sword handy.
Just been trying to think. I don't think any of my past girlfriends have been in the same place at the same time. I don't think so. No. But I wouldn't want that to happen, would you? I've got a good relationship with most of my exes. I'm still friends with most. But I still don't think I'd want that to happen.
Look, Captain, I know you're in charge of this station, but to be blunt, this isn't your concern.
Garibaldi's already made it, what?
But as one person who sees another in pain, someone whom he considers a friend or at the very least an ally, I just want you to know that I'm willing to listen.
That's good of him.
Yes, what?
Whoa.
Ambassador Len, you asked to see me?
Whoa.
To me, why this?
Hair.
It refuses to cooperate.
I hate it when that happens. It's a nightmare.
What are you washing it with? Washing?
That'll be why.
Have you considered just immersing your body in water to remove the sweat and...
We do not perspire.
I know they said that command staff have actual showers with water. I can't remember if they said ambassadorial quarters have showers as well. So I'm not sure they do. I don't think they do because I'd remember it. Also, you would probably customize quarters for each species. If her species don't shower because they don't perspire and they use a chemical compound, you wouldn't put a wet shower in their quarters anyway. It'd be a waste of time. So she probably has no access to a shower to wash her hair at the moment anyway. Not that I can think of. Unless she goes to one of the lakes and dunks herself in it. We've seen them in the background.
If you could just... I have duties. Please.
Yeah, but you are a liaison to ambassadors, so it's kind of work.
But what information I did turn up indicated that Stoner wasn't core.
He left.
I thought the only way anyone left Side Core was feet first.
Matt had connections.
And from my point of view, this is a most glorious day.
Why is he so happy?
Jacquard, you were looking in particularly excellent health today. Whatever it is you're doing, keep it up.
That's weird. Don't like it.
You once threatened to break a vase over his head.
Well, that was the impetuousness of youth.
That was last month. The secret of our marriage's success, Londo, is our lack of communication. You have jeopardized that success, and I would know why.
Basically, they don't see each other or talk to each other.
Tomorrow is the 30th anniversary of my Ascension Day. The Emperor, and the gift he gave me was any one wish within his power to grant.
That's a powerful thing for an emperor to say.
A divorce! The Emperor requested that I keep one of you. By tomorrow, I will choose one of the three of you to remain my wife.
Hello, Vando.
That's the younger one. Oh, it's I can't remember his name.
Tell me what you think it's worth.
He's been in Star Trek quite a lot.
I've seen a number of Centauri artifacts.
Care to tell me how you got it? Certification of my participation in an authorized archaeological dig. I can help you with the big words if you're having trouble.
Ooh. You just made yourself an enemy.
A celebration for Ambassador Malari, the 30th anniversary of his ascension.
That's significant?
For a Centauri? Oh, yes.
Wonder what that would be. 30th anniversary of his ascension. So what's ascension? I mean, I'd put his age... I apologise if I... because the age I've got is high. I'd put him at about 50. Obviously, we don't know how. I'm thinking in human terms. I don't know how old Centauri age, and how they look at different ages. But I'd have thought Peter Jurassic was about 50 when this was being done. I might look it up and actually put his actual age here, which would mean Ascension would be something like 20, 21. Probably 21, because in America, I know 21 is a key age. You can buy alcohol and all sorts. So that would be my guess. I think they'd probably 21 is when you ascend, whatever that means. So ascend into adulthood, perhaps. And it's now 30 years later. That's my guess.
Do you treat all new arrivals to Babylon 5 this way? Or is this personal?
Talia Winters is a friend of mine.
Would you like me to tell you all about her?
How does he know that
what she likes to hear?
Garibaldi knows
where she likes to be touched.
That kind of implies he's been scanning him, and that he knows that Garibaldi knows Talia, and I think he actually quite likes Talia. The way he's been with her and the way he pops up all the time, and I think Stoner, this guy, knows that as well. Wrong person to play with, though. Oh, there's always so many people in the background, and they're all of different species. The makeup must take ages to do for all these scenes. I mean, I would kind of hope that they get everyone in makeup and then they film all the scenes with people in the background together, to save time. But even so, it must take so long. And they always look pretty good as well. It's proper decent makeup. It's not like it's done half a job. Very well done.
I'm Captain John Sheridan.
And I am
Marielle, making new friends?
Yeah, looking for people in power.
Captain, a moment of your time, please.
You're going to warn him off or warn him of her?
Be careful. I should have warned you.
Warned him of her.
You'd love to find out how I did it, wouldn't you? How I got out. All you have to do is lose your telepathic abilities.
But you haven't.
I could arrange for them to have no hold on you either. And we could be together.
She doesn't seem completely put off. I don't think she's happy with being with him, but the fact that she has the option, or could have an option, of leaving Psychor didn't seem to upset her that much, which is quite telling. I mean, telepaths are basically forced into joining Psychor when their abilities show. There are other options, but let's go with being forced into Psychor at the moment. She has lived the Psychor life. She works for Psychor, does the job, but then he mentioned she had an option to leave, and she didn't seem unhappy with it, which is quite telling, really. That, you know, maybe telepaths aren't happy with their lives; they just live them. But the option of leaving is quite enticing.
I spoke to your ex-husband. I warned him off you.
Keep out of this. It's not your concern.
I feel it is.
If she says no, then it's not your business. A lot of the background's a lot clearer and crisper as well. I see a lot more detail than I could before in the upscale version.
They're merely expressing their feelings for me.
I can do that.
I wanted everything settled between us since it's likely I'll be leaving Babylon 5.
I'm not a fashion person, as you can tell. I wear just t-shirts all the time, but I quite like her jacket. The way the collar comes in like that. That's actually quite cool. I've never seen that sort of style before. Yeah, it's quite a cool style. Just thought I'd mention it.
Apparently the Corps began experimenting on telepaths back when we were still at the Academy.
Don't think they've ever
But instead of
stopped.
strengthening his abilities, the drug scrambled his neural pathways. When he woke up, he found he could no longer read minds. He says he can replicate the treatment. If he could do that for me.
Right. He was tested and they did experiments on him, and he thinks he can recreate that drug that was used. What would you really trust? I mean, I've been on experimental drugs. I used to suffer from migraines really badly. And I've been on drugs, and I couldn't say, oh yes, I've been on these drugs, they worked. I can recreate them for you. Have a go. I mean, blimey, especially on a telepath, and they say it scrambled his neurons. I mean, blimey. So they've obviously, well, I don't think he is still psychic. I think that's how he knew that Garibaldi knows and likes Talia, but it also did something else to him. So it's not a different type of telepath. It looks like that experimentation's done something to him where he could send something to somebody to change their mind, make them think differently. Which assumes how he left Psychor. He basically told, well, psychics, probably senior psychics, which must be quite powerful, that he'd lost his powers and he wants to leave, and they believed him, or just assumed that they'd come up with the idea in the first place. So that's how he's left. But yeah, that's all very weird.
Tired of learning things about people I don't want to know.
She is completely fed up with Psychor.
How can I help you?
The party honoring Ambassador Mallory's Day of Ascension is tonight. All attendees must be barefoot.
Wearing shoes, Ambassador Jakar?
Are aware of the level of insult that represents.
Yep.
Indeed. Do you take offense, Ambassador?
Nothing is too good for my esteemed non-colleague.
Jakar was trying to get a rise out of him, out of Londo, but yeah, Londo didn't take it. She said, no, it's not a problem.
I met this woman, and I took to her immediately. Then I met this guy who had hurt her, and instantly, I hated him.
Been there, done that.
A deck of cards for my dear friend Lanier.
And I marked them exactly as you requested.
Dodgy cards to help him win.
Now what is this?
It's from me.
Ooh.
Can you create an antitoxin?
Well, not before he literally burns himself out. Transfusion might do it.
So it looks like the artifact fired 2 darts out of its eyes. Some kind of poison toxin that's killing Londo. Was it already set up that way to do that? I mean, did that device, the artifact, did it already have that ability? It just hadn't happened yet, or did she do something to it to kill Londo? Convenient timing, isn't it? That if he dies before he divorces them, she gets a share of his money. Whereas if he divorces her before he dies, she gets nothing.
You do realize that he's not made his divorce decree official yet.
Yep.
If he dies, our futures are secure.
I've handled it 100 times. Centauri metabolism must set it off.
Makes sense. Okay, so he said he's held it a number of times. But mind you, the wife held... Oh, she wears gloves, though. Maybe it has to be physical touch. They did mention that she always has those sort of gloves on. So Londo was perhaps the first Centauri to hold it, and it picked up that he was holding it. He was a Centauri, and it fired. That kind of makes sense. Which means it probably wasn't her. It's just it was designed that way.
Narns fight dirty. They probably rigged all kinds of traps, and this was probably one of them.
Right.
By any chance Londo doesn't survive, you can be sure I'll find something to charge you with. Negligence, transporting dangerous material.
Might be able to get him on transporting weapons or dangerous artifacts.
It may interest you to know that Londo and I do have one thing in common. The same blood type.
Oh.
So you may have your transfusion, Doctor, on one condition. He must never know I did this.
Susie Fish is eating.
Eating? Prisoners don't get dinner for another hour.
He just asked for it.
Yeah, he made you do it.
Londo, do you know where you are?
Either in med lab or in hell.
Thank you for saving our husband.
Oh, yeah. You all have let him die.
Not a word from you, Timothy? Not an insincere word of relief?
She's the one who saved you.
I'm suddenly feeling quite fatigued.
Yeah, she's been weakened by the blood loss.
I can't believe you're throwing away a chance to leave Psychor.
I can't walk away from who I am. If you take away my talents, I don't know what would be left.
It's all she's known since she was 5 years old. That is going to be weird. To have that taken away from you, that would be. But it's her career, it's her job, it's all she's known since forever. So yeah, that's a huge decision to make.
You're coming with me.
Of course.
You'll arrange for immediate transport?
I can stop someone. Like
Hey!
that. Oh, that'll do the trick.
Thanks, Talia, for your help.
Okay. When he was unconscious, Talia and I can't remember his name, the other security guy, seemed to come round like the hold was gone from them. So does that mean that Stoner has to be constantly controlling them? It's not like he can just send something to them, change their mind, and then that's it. But as soon as Garibaldi hit him and made him unconscious, that's when they were released. That's a bit weird. And also that makes it more difficult for him to do what he does if he's got to keep that hold all the time. Especially like a long-term thing. If he wants Talia to go with him, does that mean he'd have to keep her with him at all times and keep hold over her? That's just not practical.
The gift giver makes a point of saying she gave it to him.
Oh.
Usually when you're trying to kill someone,
you don't admit
you
it.
hide the attempt.
That's a very interesting theory, Jikar.
So it was.
A pleasure as always.
Ooh. Something that's concerning me, not concerning me, but it's across my mind. He's kind of dressed for bed. She was in his quarters and they were very tactile. You don't think that she and him have a thing going? Which that would be very weird if they were. I can understand that he might do it to hurt Londo, but also that him being with any Centauri, I should think, would be difficult for him, the way he feels about that race. But yeah, that's the impression I got from that little conversation. And the scene, the way it's set. So she did try and kill him.
Suddenly, Psychor rides to the rescue, ordering that you be turned over to them on the first available shuttle. I think they transformed it. Turned you into something new.
Yeah, but then why is he...
An empath.
I thought empaths were able to pick up emotions and feelings, not transmit information or thoughts to someone. I don't think that's not an empath. Again, I don't know what it is, but it's not an empath. It would explain how he knew that Garibaldi liked Talia, because he was talking about her at the time. He and Stoner would have picked up perhaps his feelings for her, so that explains that. But we've seen him to Talia and that guy at the beginning, and to that security guard to get him food. That he's actually sent information, so yeah, it doesn't quite match up. He's something else as well.
The last thing the Corps wants is for folks to find out they've been experimenting on telepaths to increase their abilities. So they let you go officially, but kept you on unofficially.
Thought they killed him or locked him up.
I do know the cure. Look into my mind.
No chance.
I don't think Psychor can be too happy with him now. He's basically been found out. Yeah, I think he is going to end up under lock and key now.
This is the ambassador's upcoming itinerary.
You're making a big
He
mistake.
chose her.
A huge mistake.
Well, it won't be my first. Goodbye, ladies.
That's it.
Why did you choose to keep me as your wife and not them? I'll never love you. At best, I'll tolerate you. And I'll never be what you want me to be. Why me?
Perfect marriage.
Because with you, I will always know where I stand.
You don't backstab, try to kill him. What you see is what you get.
Commander, Susan,
I wish to thank you again. Well, if you have any other problems, any other questions at all, just ask.
Oh.
Do you have any idea why I suddenly started getting these odd cramps?
I knew that was coming. Oh dear. Yeah, you don't want to ask that. Open up to too many questions. Nice to see them get a bit closer. And Delenn called her Susan, which normally it would be Commander or Lieutenant Commander in the past. So that's nice that they're starting to get a bit of a friendship. That's good. Yeah, it was a good episode actually. I quite liked it. Seeing Londo's 3 wives, down to 1 now. I was going to say that he made the right choice, but he didn't, because she said that she'd never love him, and I don't think any of them probably love him. And obviously a marriage shouldn't be about that. It should be about love. But out of the 3, he probably made the right choice. A bit weird, but with Stoner, I don't quite get that Psycho did the experimentation on him, and then turned it into something else, so they let him go. That just doesn't make sense, so that nobody would find out that they'd experimented on people. Well, by letting him go, when nobody leaves Psycho, you immediately make him a beacon for something's happened, something's going on, and he's using his abilities left, right and centre. So that doesn't make sense. I would have thought, if you don't want someone to know that they've been experimenting, you make the experiment disappear. I'm not saying I would do that, but we have seen Psycho don't have any problems doing things like that, so that was a bit weird. The upscale, I think, looked quite good. The internal shots were really good. Everything was so much clearer. The digital ones at the station and outside, they look much more cartoony. I can see that. It would be interesting to do it on a episode with lots more going on, lots of action or something, space shots. But obviously, I'm not sure when that's going to be. I kind of upscale them in advance, and obviously I can't watch them because it will spoil the episode. I just happened to pick this episode and choose it to react to. But I'll see if I can work out a way of doing it without spoiling the episode, and try and do one in the future. I have bought season 2 of the remastered episodes. I haven't worked out whether I'm going to react to them or not yet. It's trickier for me to react to those technically than it is to the DVD versions, so I don't know. I'll have to work it out what I'm going to do. But yeah, it was an alright episode. A few nice jokes between Londo and Jakar. Yeah, so let me know what you thought about this one in the comments below, and I shall see you for the next one. Be seeing you.